Where is that little sucker? Ah, it's up there. Is that it? Yep. Okay. Greetings, Earthlings. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all you YouTubers out there. Okay. Something a little bit different. I said I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read from the story. I'm just going to do something I feel like doing. And this is on the subject of the moon and things like the phases of the moon. First thing I just want to touch on is we need to be beginning. Some of us are making feeble efforts at this process that I'm going to be talking about, but that is we need to start using our own eyes, like see, and then with our own brains think about the data that we have seen with our own eyes. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the Prudential building from 4.3 miles away. This is from Richie from Boston. Subscribe to him. He's got good stuff, good daily updates, short, to the point videos, 4 or 5 minutes a lot of times. Unlike mine, I apologize. No, I don't. As Fletch of OzArk Tactical Homestead says, I don't really care. If you want a short video, go somewhere else. But anyway, I don't deliberately make them long, and I try to stay 15 minutes just so I can upload them to other videos, to other channels. I did a video earlier for Jersey, and someday I'll get around to uploading it, figuring out how to upload it to her channel. Not a priority right now, sorry. But I'll work on it. I did it with a different tablet. I got to either figure out how to, whatever, upload it from that tablet or transfer it, download it from this tablet onto this tablet and then upload it. So, all right. Anyway, this is a Prudential building, 4.3 miles away, with a Nikon P900 Coolpix. These cameras are awesome. They're $500, $600. Anybody can buy one that wants to save up their little shekels and spend the money on it and do some awesome photography with mountains and buildings. Now, understand this thing is it's got digital zoom. This is fully extended, maxed out, as good as you can get at zoom, and you can't read the letters on the building from 4.3 miles away. Atmospheric fog, heavy air, whatever you want to call it, but you know, right in there it says Prudential or whatever the building is. And I apologize. Shout out to Richie. I'll move on to the next slide because normally I always try to leave the heading of the video, so I want to know which one it is, and I can't easily go back and look it up now without going into my history. So anyway, this is the same position, same balcony, same time of day, looking at the moon through heavy chemtrails. Well, there was down to the bottom left there, you can see heavy chemtrails. This is the moon on the same day, same time of day, just moments after he did the Prudential building, and he starts zooming in. The moon is 250,000 miles away, 240,000 miles away. And he's getting closer. And he's getting closer. You got to figure that's about maxed out. He can't read Prudential from 4.3 miles away. Nope, not zoomed in all the way yet. And you can see those really bright spots there. Oftentimes those are stars. Those aren't just colonies on the moon. Those are stars you're seeing through the moon. So we need to start observing with our own eyes and deciding, trying to understand some things. Pray for wisdom. If any man lack wisdom, Yahweh will give him wisdom. He won't no upbraiding, He giveth to all men liberally. So, number one, things like just questions about the moon. You, for your own sake, answer them. Why a lot of times is the moon and the sun in the same sky at the same time during the day? And The moon is in obviously a partial phase. This is broad daylight. The sun's up in the sky. Now you tell me, is that the shadow? We're always told that it's the Earth's shadow that makes the moon's phases. Baloney. Horse manure. Bullshit. You know, I call bullshit. 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 You know, that's a phase of the moon, and the Earth is not between the moon and the sun. So that's a crock of bull. The other thing is, you can see the bunny rabbit, kind of a rabbit's head. The ears are kind of almost pointing straight to the right. The head is the big spot there in the middle. You know, it's kind of a bunny rabbit. A lot of times it looks like that. So that rotates. That rotates, you know, like a cartwheel. The wheels in the sky keep on turning. The sun does the same thing. They're rolling through the sky. You can watch it. Go out when the moon first comes up, full moon. Take a picture of it. Wait about 2 hours later, take a picture of it. Wait 2 hours later, take a picture of it. You know, take a picture of it as it's setting early in the morning, and you'll see it. Okay, no question. Now, that being the case, the Apollo 11, or the Apollo mission, they landed in like Sea of Tranquility. That is facing the Earth, was facing the Earth. And guess what? It's always facing the Earth. Wherever they landed on the moon, they were looking straight up with the Earth directly overhead. Directly overhead. The moon never faces any other direction. There is no proof of any dark side of the moon. None. Never seen it, probably never will. Okay, the moon's rolling through the sky, and bam, they were looking up at the Earth. The Earth would have, in other words, the Earth would have occupied the entire view of anybody that was on the moon. There would have been no Earthrise. The BS that they show you, the Earth just coming up over the horizon. Oh, that's so beautiful. The Earth is coming up over the horizon. Go to Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, set your parameters. Boom, you can see it's been blocked in. It's phony, it's bogus, it's stupid. Back when they did that, they had no idea that someday everybody on Earth with a computer would be able to go to upload Adobe, download Adobe Photoshop, and bam, see that they're freaking liars. So, all right, I'm just going to go through these. This isn't the purpose of the talk. Just what is the moon? When the moon is full, take something exact same item, put one of them in the shade. In other words, a softball, a basketball, you know, a blob of a bucket of dirt, exactly the same size, a bowling ball. I don't care. An apple, an orange, a grapefruit. Put one in the shade and one in full moonlight. Take the temperatures. Find out a reality check. The moon is not it's not the same light as the sun being reflected. All right, this is a video, and doggone it, I didn't remember it. I didn't remember to leave the shot in there. This is the moon looking at stars through it. There is no evidence of a dark side of the moon. Okay, the eclipse is caused by the black sun, another translucent disk, not the shadow of the ball Earth as we're taught in school. We can see stars through the eclipsed moon here because, number one, the moon is a flat, transparent, translucent disk and not a spherical, opaque terra firma object capable of landing a bunch of Freemasons on, as NASA claimed. Two, because the ellipse is caused by the black sun. Okay, so anyway, just flapping through that. Flags of many countries look like the moon, crescent moon with stars seeing through it. Why, if the moon's up in space, how am I able to see blue sky through it? If the sky is blue, you can see blue sky. If the sky is black, it's black. If it's green, it's green. If the sky is purple, it's purple. If the sky is orange, it's orange. Why is the moon that close that you can see sky behind it? Now, the other bigger question is, see, there's a whole bunch of flags that look like, gee, a crescent moon with a star in them. Okay, the sun and the moon appear almost the same size. This one is very powerful, but they're saying now, I'm going to get into something here. I don't even want to go into the Pythagorean theory, but work it out for yourself. If, you know, it's 3,000 miles across the United States, and the angle from east coast to west coast is the sun's at a 45-degree angle. That means that the other angle is 45 degrees. In other words, from the sun down to the east coast and down to the west coast is 45 degrees, which means those legs are the same. 3,000 ballpark. But here's something else that's interesting. You know, there's a question. Flat Earth man. Da, 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 da. If the moon is reflecting light from the sun, why does moonlight in test cooler than moonshade? All right, skipping all this. I think I had some things. Local sun, very obvious, very clear, very definite. Does not light up the whole horizon. Not 93 million miles away. Okay, this is the sun and the moon both. There is multiple video and still footage of clouds definitely behind the sun and behind the moon. No question. And of course, just for a question to throw out there, get a P900X, cool pics, and start taking pictures of Venus, Mars. Okay, that's Venus. That's Mars. And here's a star, Deneb. Not familiar with that one. And this thing is something else. I mean, that looks like a tent, an old-time war pavilion like Aslan would come out of. But it changes. Boy, does it change. So, scalding chickens, okay. So, anyway, I just want to, we need to refigure some things. Now, one of those things we should refigure is what does the phases of the moon look like? And just real quick here, and I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to cut this one off here and then do another video. But I'm just going to go through these real quick. Get my magic paintbrush up here just to get you thinking for a little bit in case I don't come back, because I'm not feeling good and I'm not doing much tonight, period, end of story. And I ain't doing nothing tomorrow. So, Sabbath. All right, you'll notice here 1, 8, 15, 22nd, 29, boom. Okay, different phases of the moon. Now there's, then it shifts to here on Tuesday, May, every 7 days. I can't move myself. June, Wednesday, which is this month, every 7 days. Okay, and I just blew that up so I could see basically June. So I'll skip that one right now. So anyway, that one, and then just here's the whole thing. I might go into this more in the next video. Recently, this was on June 5th, 2018, 4:15 p.m. Moon was 58%, almost 60%. Waning gibbous. What does waning mean? That means getting lessening. Waxing is waxing eloquent, waxing much, waxing greater. So waxing is going from new moon to full moon. Waning is going from full moon back down to new moon. So on June 5th, it was almost a quarter phase. Okay. Whatever. I like to call them half because it's halfies. But here you go. You can see on the 6th, Wednesday, 13th, Wednesday, 20th, Wednesday, 27th, Wednesday. Bam, 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 bam. And that is June. So coming up on the 13th, it's going into a new moon, and theoretically it will shift to another day, but according to this, it doesn't look like it's going to. Now, that's every month is different. 6, just to be clear, bam. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days. Okay. Here's another website, June again, and you've got, come on. Okay. Ooh, that is really irritating. It's got to be it. Yep, there it is. No, I can't do that. Ah. Boy, I'll tell you. Okay. So Wednesday. Last Wednesday, this Wednesday. 13th, 20th. Every 7 days. 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, and then a little bit of a switch. So, and I'm just saying this at this point. Just these are things that you can observe, and you should observe because we've been told to, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showcases His craftsmanship. So this is something to consider. It has to do with planting. It has to do with reaping. It has to do with harvesting. It has to do with food production, digging holes, cutting firewood, you name it, building things. It has to do with it. So the energy there. Like I said, once upon a time, in London, they put a cable. 1859, they strung a cable across the Thames River in London and found out that at high tide versus low tide, high tide versus low tide, there's a difference of X number of volts. New moon versus full moon, a difference of X number of volts. So there you go. All right, that's it. This is Jerry Diamond. Things to think about. I'm just saying, be observant. We need to learn. We need to instruct ourselves in righteousness and in right living. And one of the things we need to understand is how the kingdom is going to be working. If we're planning on living in the kingdom, it would behoove us to learn the rules and laws of how the kingdom is going to be functioning and working. And this is one that I think we should be looking at. There's a reason why so much stuff has been swept under the rug about the sun, about the moon, the sizes, the distances, you name it. The center of the earth in the universe, the one verse, the one turning, the one word. What is verse? A verse of scripture. One speaking. What is a virgin? A midwife turns a baby. It's upside down. It's going to be breached, so she turns it. She does a version. That's what they call it. I'm going to do a version. They turn the baby. The baby keeps turning. Our son David had a really long cord or something, and he was like head breach, head breach, head breach, head breach, head breach. It's like he was in there just like doing constant somersaults. It's surprised the cord wasn't. Maybe he would wind it up and then unwind it. I don't know. But yeah, it was quite amazing. It was like a really nice big swimming pool, and he was taking full advantage of it. So anyway, a version, one universe, and that's what you see when you look up the sky. Simplest explanation is the world is turning around the earth. Now that's an impossible thing to grasp if you believe the BS that you've been taught since you were a little kid. So, as a cognizant adult, and you look at the facts of the matter, it's not hard to understand at all. It's what you see. It's what's happening. The stars don't move. I mean, they're from their courses. They go around and around and around and around, and throughout the year they progress, and then they come back around, but they're always right where they are. Going back thousands of years. Why is that? Why do they always go around the North Star? Because it looks like they're all going around the Earth. Well, guess what? They are going around the Earth. So anyway, that's it. My voice is getting scratchy I'm just irritated from being out in the trailer, and I just can't do that anymore. So put up a 10, I guess. Teepee. La, 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 la. All right, anyway, that's it. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. Hey, there you go. See if I can get reflections in both of my... There you go. Jerry, you're just like a little kid. Yeah, well...